Hello! In this video, we're going to be showing you how to paint the Gladiator Kalador 331 Khorne Berserker quickly and easily in just 10 paints, so they'll be ready to brutalise the enemy in battle in no time at all. The paints you'll need are on the screen right now. Remember that these are our recommendations. Feel free to paint your miniatures however you like. If you are new to painting and want to know the types of paint and techniques used in this video, check out our Citadel Colour Painting Essentials videos in the description. The first thing we need to do is undercoat our model, and for this we have used White Scar. This will speed up the process and serves as our base coat for the armour. First, we're applying Soul Blight Grey into the recesses of the white armour using a small layer brush. We'll apply 2 layers into those recesses, making a darker shadow. Once the recesses are dry, we'll apply a thinned down version of the shade all over the white. We want 1 part Soul Blight Grey to 3 parts water to achieve a lighter shade. This will help to tie in the recesses with the rest of the armour. We don't want to go too heavy with the application as we only want to tint the armour. By combining recess shading with a lighter overall shade, we've started to bring the flat white of the undercoat to life. Next, we'll add Kalador Sky to the shoulder pads, the face mask, and the top plate of the backpack, but you can put it anywhere to make your models unique. Don't worry if you get any on the armour trim, just like I have here, as we'll be painting over it in the later stage. But try to be careful when applying this near the white armour, as we've already painted it. But if we accidentally do, apply a few layers of White Scar to cover over, then add any Soul Blight Grey after that. Kalador Sky is a bright blue, which may seem odd for Khorne, but once the shades are applied, it gives us a perfect tone for that World Eater's Heresy era scheme. Now we'll apply lead Belcher to the weapons, the backpack, and any extra details like chainmail and chains. We also can add it to the iconic butcher's nails on their head. As we're working around the white armour, we're going to take our time when applying it so we don't make any smudges or get any on the armour. Don't worry if you do though, we all make mistakes and it's super easy to fix. Just follow the same steps as we did earlier. Just make sure that lead Belcher is fully dry before covering it, as we don't want to get any metallic flakes mixed into our White Scar. Next, we'll add some Rhinox High to the leather details. You may find that there are extra details that could also be leather, so apply it wherever you think is best. This also gives some diversity and individuality to the models in your army. One Marine may wear black leather gloves and another may wear brown. Rhinox hide is a rich dark brown, so we will only need a couple of layers to build up a solid colour over that white undercoat. Now we are applying Corvus Black to the weapon casings, undersuit and suit piping. We have a lot of colours on our model, so we're going to take our time so we can avoid any smudging on all of the hard work we've already done. Corvus Black is great for these details, as it has a slightly grey tone to it, so this gives the piping and the suit a weathered look. With that dry, we can move on to Brass Scorpion, which will apply to any Khorne icons and the armour trim. This colour will need a few layers to get that solid metallic coverage. When we're finished with the metallic paints, it's best to change the paint water to avoid any of those metallic flakes getting into our next colours. Brass Scorpion is a layer paint, but it's the perfect colour we need for our Khornate style brass. Next, we'll apply a shade of Nuln Oil over the Corvus Black, the Rhinox Hide, Brass Scorpion and lead Belcher. We'll also use it in the recesses of the Kalador Sky, just so we tie the bright blue down with the rest of the model. If we apply too much shade on these colours, we can always remove some with a damp, clean brush and soak it away. Nuln Oil is great for shading many different colours as it's a neutral tone, adding a simple shadow to all of these paints. Making shadows in recesses and leaving raised areas unshaded is why shade paints are a great addition to our painting armoury. When the shade is fully dry, we'll move on to the Canoptek alloy to highlight the brass details. We have focused on the main areas to achieve the worn metal effect, like the shoulder pads, the chest vent and the knee plate edges. This is so we can paint a whole unit of these quickly and effectively, but feel free to highlight as much or as little of the brass as you wish. To make it easier and neater, use the side of the brush to go around the edges and the point of the brush to dot the paint into smaller areas. Canoptek alloy gives an aged and weathered effect, which is perfect for these berserkers who keep their original armour from back in the Horus Heresy. Next we'll apply Guilliman Flesh for the skin tone, but feel free to use any skin tone you want, such as Dark Oak Flesh or Cygor Brown. You apply all of these different skin tones in exactly the same way. Before application, if you find a colour has smudged onto the White Scar undercoat, you can always use White Scar from the pot to tidy up before using these contrast paints. We also can use this to paint any weapon wrappings or skin loincloths too. This makes the Berserkers even more disturbing to behold on the battlefield. Finally, for the extra gory detail, we can add some blood for the Blood God for a quick and easy blood effect. Using our small brush, we can add a little amount to the chain weapons, boots and some splatters to the white armour, as it stands out really well against it. You can either swipe the brush across it to give slashes of blood, or dot it with the tip of the brush in patches to get a splatter effect. Less is more, so don't go too berserk with it. Blood for the Blood God is a great way to add realistic gore, and once dry it's the perfect consistency and colour to achieve a bloody effect worthy of Khorne himself. And there we are, your Gladiator Carder 331 Berserker is finished and ready to claim skulls for the Skull Throne. As you can see, our model is based in a Grelin Badland, but if you'd like to learn more about basing, check out our technical paints video to know more. Well, we hope you enjoyed this video and we'll see you next time. Bye bye!